Bessie, hello. This is Geek Assembled Audio Heads, and today we're discussing an amazing audio adventure, the likes of which we kind of been waiting for a while. This is Unit Assembled, and it's got the great ones in it. It's a really amazing audio adventure, and it's basically Unit versus the Silurians. And the Sea Devils. So it's basically like Warriors of the Deep Mach 2. Mach 2 in ein Story. Anyway, let's I really want to find out what Lee thought of this box set. And so what's your opening thoughts, my friend?
Yeah, it's as you say, it's got Unit old and new, Sea Devils. Well, Sea Devils not particularly the bad guys of it, as there wasn't really the bad guys of the TV episode. But as you have Joe Grant, Joe Jones, Joe Grant, whatever you want to call her, Sergeant Benton and Captain Yates, all in retirement sort of thing. And then you've got Kate Stewart, Osgood, Sam Bishop, and Captain, what's his face? I forgot his name now. The one with the plastic bones. Oh.
Right, the Captain Josh Carter.
That's it, Carter. All getting together to fight the Silurians. And this is my. Shall I get my niggle out first?
Yeah, go for it. You might as well.
This, I think, is my only niggle. What I cannot stand the new Silurians. To me, no. Visually, I can't stand them on the TV. And orderly. What's the word?
Audioly.
I can't stand them on audio.
Whoa. Okay. So basically, what you're saying is you can't fucking stand Neve McIntosh.
No, I just can't stand this.
Her characterization of everything.
I can't stand the character.
I don't buy it. I think you hate Neve McIntosh, and I can prove it because she plays all of the ones.
No, she doesn't.
She does. She does. She plays all of the ones.
No, she doesn't. Because she doesn't play. What's his face? Jazz Rock, because that's played by Richard Hope. I just do not like the new version of the Silurians. They're nothing like what the Silurians are supposed to be. I mean, for me, a Silurian, you should have the modulator of the voice, which was so creepy in the TV series, the originals, and that on audio would have been so much better. If you know what I'm trying to say here, because the new Silurians just speak normally like humans. And to me, that's the effect. You lose the effect of what the Silurians, the threat of the Silurians, the way they come across, the way they speak. If they'd have used the original sound of the Silurians, it would have, for me personally, would have been a lot better. But saying that, these are 4 damn good stories.
All right.
That's my only niggle. I just do not like what they've done to the Silurians in the new movie.
All right. Well, I can see that. What? All right. Any further thoughts to open with?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
I'll go back to you.
All right. Well, let's see. it starts off, with the cover, that they're all back together, that the gang is together, and um, this the first story pits um, Benton Yates and Kate against this Silurian, played by Richard Hope, that Lee was mentioning, and his experiments, and his desire to do some manipulation of the sea creatures, and then he was working with a with Triska, no, with Triska, yeah. Anyway, so it's set in Benton's pub, and some people struggle with that thought, because Benton, played by John Levine, is not a drinker, and so why the hell would he have a pub? I mean, that is a
Well,
like
well,
Levine has spoken against drink at various times. Go ahead.
yeah, but that's John Levine, isn't it? Sergeant Benson might be a drinker.
Yeah, yeah, but like that
It could,
was okay. That yes,
or you could take it that his wife is the landlady of the pub.
yeah.
She,
Oh,
she-
and they used her from another audio.
Mhm.
Like, she came out of another audio adventure, and that's really fun. And so yeah, okay, I can see your point there. Uh, but you know, it was just it was it was pretty cool to hear the voices, and all I have to say about Captain Yates being back is, what the hell, dude? Why the hell were you working on the Death Star? Well, I just couldn't. I can't believe you were a Death Star engineer. Stupid. Anyway, I've got that running through my head all the way through this. I can't. I just can't with that Rogue One. The fact that Richard Franklin showed up in Rogue One was like the best thing ever. Anyway, and then the second story is brings Osgood and Joe Jones together with the Sea Devils, and they take off in a submarine, and they're trying to, do some exploration. But then the guy Burmeister, um, Nicholas Ashbury, takes over, and starts working in cahoots with with
Just,
um
just Rob.
Jastrock, and making the situation untenable, and waking up some sea devils, and they set their experiments. They've been experimenting on combining dinosaur creatures, and some of those get loose,
Yeah,
and aim up the Atlantic Ocean, right for the UK, aiming for London. anyway, that was a really cool story. Osgood, played by Ingrid Oliver, was while she was, aiming for a scientific understanding of the situation, Joe was actually like embodying all of the best things. She goes from being, a hippie mod kind of gal to being this liberal, uh, sort of a democratic socialist savior. She's really amazing. I mean, really amazing. Like she has in mind that which the doctor has given her all the time. Like that's what sent her to the Amazon. That's what sent her. That's why she had a big family, because she felt like that big family was part of the reason that you would actually want to save this, the big, and then she did like negotiations like the doctor, and she wanted to broker the peace treaty, the peace accord between the reptilians and the mammals. And so that was really a really good challenge. And the story continues in the next part, which is called, that one was called Tidal Wave, and the next one's called Retrieval. And the middle two, the last one, this one written by Guy Adams.
Yeah.
And he had all these like exciting turning points. Like there was the Mediterranean, the Greek, in the Greek Isles, like the Greek underground. Anyway, the Silurian found her device that actually inspires fear in the hearts of the mammals, and that was just amazing because it turned Osgood into a quivering mass of nerves, and then um, and then she ends up like hunting them, and it's not like the sort of running really fast kind of hunt. It was like because there was so much fear involved. It was more like hunting a scared animal, like
Uh-huh.
so Osgood became a scared animal, and but while Osgood was being tortured in this fashion, Kate was able to download like pretty much the whole Silurian information, you know, database, which that's a good science fiction tool. The reality of databases is that everybody's got their own. So if this was it, you know, in order for this to be more realistic, for if the Silurians want to do this, is that they're going to have to go from place to place to place, downloading the mammals databases, because like we all got our own now anyway. And that's why it was easy for this company on the east coast of the United States to be hacked and ransomware and shut down our oil pipeline for a while. That's why this is really timely, is because the Silurians had one database, one big database, and that was just amazing. So made it really easy, and Osgood was able to make use of that, and like and Sam Bishop was instrumental in this. Gosh, who does he play? Oh, of course, Warren Brown again. Oh my gosh, Sam Bishop and Captain Carter are in all of these units, and I just have to remember the name of the actor. If I don't next time, hold me accountable. Say that I'm a numpty or something. I don't know. Anyway, then the last one was the one called United, and hang on, and it was and so this one was just like a really good a good sort of resolution. There was a lot of back and forth. They threatened to use the nuclear warheads on the UK, and he takes over Parliament, and the guy played by Richard Hope takes over Parliament and sets up his thing, and he was going to be utilizing the UK to completely subjugate the rest of the creatures here. So that was really intriguing, and it was really exciting. There was lots of jeopardy. There was it was really enjoyable. Let's see. Yeah, it was good that Benton and Yates were actually sort of called up again. At the end of it, that means they were reactivated as full time, and how they got there was Bessie, and so because that was in the first one. Yeah, anyway. So yeah, that was really fun. And so, Lee, what's your favorite moments?
Well, let's have a look. First one, Call to Arms by Matt Fitton.
Yeah,
really did enjoy this. It was just the old soldiers getting together. I can see why they didn't have Katie Manning in this one. Saving her for the second story. It was good to hear Benton and Yates together again. For me, it was just a brilliant told story of was it 4 of them under siege in the pub, and trying to escape the Silurian hunt, from, and how they did it. Of course, you mentioned Benton was gifted Bessie. The brigadier gave Bessie to Benton.
yeah.
And he kept Bessie in the garage, but that's how they got away from there. But it was just good to hear them together. For me, it was the Yates and Benton together, meeting the new unit of Kate and Osgood.
Yeah.
And it was also raising a glass to the brigadier and all like that. And so it was a sentimental story to begin with.
And Raincat, they reprised their RHIP.
Yeah.
RHIP. Rank has its privileges.
Yeah. Well, it's just a good sentimental story. Second one. Now I've just noticed this is Tidal Wave by Guy Adams, but I've just noticed. I mean, it's mostly on every copy, but I don't know. Can you see that?
What is that?
It says by Matt Fitton.
Oh,
So that's an error.
yeah, because the middle two were Guy Adams.
Yeah. So on that cover it says, but so I don't know if that's worth a bit of money. I loved this one, and you get Osgood wearing a Pertwee-esque costume
Yeah,
on audio, a velvet. She said she thought it was just apt because Joe was there.
yeah.
But for me, it's the portrayal of the Silurians is spot on. Nicholas Briggs playing the Silurians, not Silurians, the Sea Devils, should I say, is spot on. He's got the hiss down to a T. That's how a classic monster should be treated, in my opinion.
Okay, but once they've treated it in a different way,
No,
can you ever
no,
do something else with it?
not like the Silurians. God, they've murdered them for me. You don't
Come
mess with.
on, Lee. Come on, Lee.
You
They
don't
did
mess
not
with them.
murder them.
They have.
They are just as fucking dangerous.
The reptiles, aren't they? The reptiles, aren't they?
Yeah,
Well, have they got human eyes?
I don't know.
Shouldn't they should have reptilian eyes, like the originals? I'm just saying, and a lot of fans have said that. Yeah, for me, yeah, Tidal Wave is a damn good story, and for me, the confrontation. Well, it's not a confrontation; it's the conversation. Joe and the Sea Devil leader, the scientist.
Yeah,
It's just, as you say, she sort of becomes she's taken everything the Doctor has taught her, and she became the spokesperson,
yeah.
trying peacekeeper, shall we say? She's trying to become the
A
peacekeeper,
broker. Yeah, right.
and in the end, the scientist sees that he's been had by the Silurians because it's them who have been attacking the base, not the humans.
Right.
And the scenes in the sub is just amazing. I just love that because I love TV, but it's better on audio. Is in confined space. You know what I mean? I mean, for me, like one of my favorite Doctor Who episodes on TV was Horror of Fang Rock.
Right.
It's a confined space. It's just it I don't know. It adds more atmosphere,
Yeah.
and in a submarine, it adds more atmosphere.
Okay, I just have one niggle about the submarine in that episode. It
Yeah.
was rigged for silent running. Then why was it binging? It should not. There should have been no bing, bing. Because when you rig for silent running, they turn off the ping.
Well, I don't know. You better see the who's the. I wasn't really listening.
Listen, I wouldn't have a bing noise if I was rigged for silent running. For fuck's sake, this is dumb.
But but for me, yeah, that is a damn good Sea Devil story. And then we go to the third one, Retrieval. Yeah, you've got the return of Sam Bishop, played brilliant by Warren Brown.
Warren Brown, that's right. Sam Bishop. I
Um,
remember these names.
yeah, it's a good hunting. Yeah, they're on the hunt. They're after the fear. Is it the fear machine? The fear mechanism. And they say the huntress is after them. She poisons Kate.
That's the difference. Is that the Silurians in the old story had no proboscis tongues, like a real lizard, but the ones in Hungry Earth have the poison proboscis tongue, and so that's a total lizardian thing. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm selling this. I'm selling this.
No, you're not.
Fine. God.
No, you're not. They're still missing a third eye. Anyways,
Some of their helmets have them.
Mm. You're still not selling me on the Silurians. I'm sorry. But this is a
Well,
good
they're
story.
all played by Neve Campbell, and so like you're just against her from now on. It's just
No, I'm just against the modern character, the modern look and portrayal of the Silurians. Not the actress, just what they've done to the
but
like.
she's not going to be playing another character unless some strange thing happens. She's going to keep playing the Silurians that you hate.
Well, I'll still hate them. But this, as I said, this story is a race against time story of Kate trying to find her antidote to save herself. Sam Bishop trying to save Osgood from she did become a gibbering wreck. I mean, one of my favorite moments in that is where he finds her, because she's sort of self-consciously talking to herself, isn't she, while she's in this submerged in this whatever it is, and then she's coming out of this dreamlike state, and all she's saying is out loud is, what is it, naked caveman Sam. Naked caveman Sam. I think she's got the hots for him.
Yeah.
And he hears that and he's going, what did you say? And she just keeps gibbering away to herself. So that was a funny element of that. And then we've got the fourth one. Now, this one, out of the 4 stories, for me, is the one what falls flat for me. United. Yes, it wraps up all the loose ends and gives us a finale. But for me, I was sat listening to it and I'm thinking, I'm just not interested in this story. For some reason, it's not grabbing me. And for the final story of a box set, it should, have episodes 1, 2, and 3 combined to make it go bang. But it just wasn't. I don't know what was missing. It had Benton, it had Yates, it had Joe, it had Silurians, it had Unit, but there was just something not there to keep my attention.
I
don't know what it was, but all in all, for the full set, it was an enjoyable story arc. Bringing the Sea Devils back for me. You can have the Sea Devils, brilliant creation. They're never the bad guys, really, are they?
No.
But that's my thing on the assembled.
Yeah, the thing that was cool about the Sea Devil story was the reference of how, instead of like them being an actually aggressive and hateful, it was the master manipulating the situation the whole time. So that was a good throwback to that story. This was a lot different than the Warriors of the Deep, because the Sea Devils weren't as powerful as the Silurians.
Yeah, they were just like their slave warriors, wasn't they?
Yeah. The Warriors of the Deep, they were their own sort of samurai style character, and that was pretty. That was really a cool thing about Warriors of the Deep. But this was they had, it was good, though. The Nicholas Briggs, just he is really good at portraying the characters. in a
For me,
fashion, the old style fashion.
one of the highlights of it, and it's going back to the Tidal Wave one with the Sea Devils, is Joe's admiration and just her way in front of the Sea Devil, saying how beautiful he is, how she'd forgotten how wonderful they looked.
Yeah.
Yeah, not that back in the Sea Devil she was screaming her head off, but
Right.
yeah. But that was a brilliant scene where she was just saying, "Oh, I've forgotten how wonderful, beautiful you guys looked,"
And then she was going on. She was in the third and the fourth episode. She was gushing about the dinosaurs and the way that
Yeah,
the especially when the ones had taken over the skies of London.
yeah.
Um, she was just gushing on the beautiful dinosaurs, and then she was like, "No, I will not kill a dinosaur. I
I
will
mean,
not kill."
that was. I think it was the first story. No, it wasn't the first story. So it must have been the. It was the last story, United, where she had a falling out with Yates, Mike.
Yeah,
He was trying to do his job.
right,
She didn't want him to do his job.
right.
So the parted the ways, she stormed off. Go on, Benson, can you just go and calm her down? But it's that confrontation. So it
Yeah,
was like the old unit hadn't died; it was still there, but they had to, all they had to see was a straight line. They had to get to the end of it. But Joe wanted to do a crisscross pattern like that.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Joe
So
Joe really was given you know quite a big stash of cash of reality that she brought with her into that portrayal that
mm,
Katie did. Yeah, it was truly deep and meaningful.
yeah,
Yeah.
but pretty good. Sitting down to listen to them, I thought, yeah, I enjoyed this. It's just a shame for the last story for me. I just I can't put my finger on it. There was just something, an element missing, but I don't know what it was.
Okay. All right. Well, the I thought that the nuclear thing was going to capture your imagination, but maybe talking about the nuclear arsenal of the world is boring now, but it's still fucking there. It's still gonna
I don't. I don't.
somebody's gonna use something wrong.
I don't think it was that. There was just something in the story element. There was just something missing, and I don't. It wasn't that
All right.
because the other three dragged me in,
Yeah.
and the last story just didn't seem to grab me and pull me in. You know what I mean? If it,
Maybe it's just that it was all the Silurians, and you're just over that, and you hate Richard Hope and you hate Nev Campbell, and you're just done with this all.
got no reptile, they've got no reptilian eyes, they've got no third eye, and they haven't got the voice. And that's not Silurian to me.
Uh, nah. They have a tongue. They do science. They're really much more aggressive than the Paternoster gang, than Madame Vastra. I mean, Nev Campbell had to. Okay, listen to this. Nev Campbell went back and she watched the Silurians with John Pertwee, and she watched Hungry Earth, and she watched the next one, Hungry
So
Earth in Cold Blood, and uh, she went back and she remembered like how she had based the characterization in Hungry Earth and in Cold Blood on the Silurians, in the Silurians with John Pertwee, not
well,
not
well,
in Warriors
can
of
I
the Deep, and
well
this
can
was
I
more
just say
Warriors of the Deep.
can I
So
just say
yeah,
can I just say then she wasn't watching the same thing I watched? Because I do not see any original Silurian in that performance.
uh, All right. Anyway, let's move on.
There you go.
All right.
Over to you.
I just wanted to keep fighting. I'm having a ball with this, and that's why I thought that it would be fun to get more people in here, because otherwise it's just you and I going at like crash.
And you'll never win. You'll never win with
I
me.
will always win. I will always win. No, Lee, you're entitled to your opinion. Could be
Yeah.
wrong, but you're entitled to it anyway.
And who are you?
Yeah, so that confrontation between Yates and Joe was precipitated by Yates's like stick to itiveness, but he was the one who had dragged the dinosaurs onto the planet the last time.
Yeah.
And so it was really good of her to confront him, even though that was Sarah Jane, that adventure, but she was in the know. She was wiry about that. Joe was, and Katie brought that perspective in, and I just thought that was really like something cool. Is that like there were so many like this result from this. Marjorie was in this other audio. Uh, Joe and Yates having that conversation was due to the other thing. I mean, it was really good. I just had a ball with this, and so I want you to know what's your rating, and go ahead and split it up, rate each story, because I know that
Yeah.
the last one isn't going to get a very high mark.
Can I get just a little moment? I think it was from the first one. Yes, it was. Was it the Osgood's telephone ringtone again with the TARDIS noise? And I think it was Ben who said, "Is it him? Is he here?"
Yes, that was a great moment too.
Right then. Let's see. First one then. Call to Arms. Love it. I'm going to give it a 10.
Mhm.
Second one, Tidal Wave. If I could give it more, I would. It's a 10.
Go ahead and give it more.
No
rules here.
This one, Retrieval, it drops 1, it gets a 9. Still enjoyable. And then the final one, United. I'll give it an 8.
Oh, that's not as low as I thought you were going.
Well, I was going to say 7.5, but no, I'll be generous. I'll give it an 8. So out of the 4 stories, that was my least enjoyable favorite one.
And what would you give the whole thing?
A 10.
Okay, great. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see. I gotta remember the stories' names. Hang on, just a second. The first one, A Call to Arms by Matt Fitton. I'll give that one a 10, and a misty-eyed 10 in 10 Bessies out of 10. A Call to Arms, I will give this. Oh, that was A Call to Arms. Sorry. Tidal Wave by Guy Adams, and I'll give that one. I'll give that one 9. What are they called? Net coverings for Sea Devils out of 10.
Oh, vests.
Yeah. And then Retrieval, but also by Guy Adams. This one I'll give this one a 9. Let's see. A 9 Fear. fear generators out of 10. God, that was just amazing what that did to Osgood. Holy crap. Anyway, uh, but that was also in the Greek islands, not the middle of the Atlantic, like I said originally. Um, Having gone back into my head, I remember it wasn't Greek or it wasn't Atlantic, it was Greek. So they had to go all the way up through the Gibraltar and then up to the Atlantic to get to London, the original city,
Yeah.
Londinium or whatever. But it's fun that they use that term. So they must have woken up during the Roman Empire, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
So there, so there, history of the Silurian people. And United, I'll give that one a 10. I loved it. I thought that, you know, hanging out in Westminster Abbey with a bunch of Silurians was really something. And then also, them taking over Parliament and broadcasting, and then everybody broadcasting back, and all this broadcasting, and all these threats, and the threat of the use of the nuclear arsenal was just, it was intense. It was fun. I really enjoyed it. I deeply I liked the cleanup. I liked the interplay of all my favorite unit characters. Yeah, so I don't have my inhaler, but Osgood and Kate grow on me every single time I listen to these audios, and this is the second time I've listened to this whole audio, and in preparation for this, but I mean, it makes my heart so happy, and I am so glad that Kulshaw's uh he's doing the Brigadier now, so that they can go back. And but Katie was like, I guess it was in the behind the scenes, Katie was talking about how, at least in this one, she was able to speak with her natural voice, her aging voice, and she was able to give that character life, and brought that voice and that gravitas to Joe. And that it was also fun that she and Cliff were still faithful to each other and still together. That was one of those hippie free love things that actually worked out. It was amazing, that was. And I think it had to do with all the mushrooms they were eating, but that was just fun. I just love those. And I loved the reprisal of that for the Third Doctor Blu-ray disc. Oh my gosh, fantastic romance and beautiful and so great. So yeah, and the whole thing, I'll give it a 10. Uh, I'll give it 10 uh, unit uh, unit plans out of 10, because I mean, like, their plans always go something awry, and Joe always does do that back and forth. I'll use that, Lee. I'm gonna use that back and forth Joe thing. If it, when I really like how you phrase that. So even though you're wrong about the Silurians, you have a really great point about this, about Joe's back and forth logic, and her you know, slaloming through situations, making them, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And not a maker in sight.
and not a merc.
We thought we'd get a cast without a mention of a maker, but there you go. I've mentioned it twice now.
There you go.
But there again, how do we know that these sea creatures were not scientifically enhanced makers? Because they never mentioned them by name.
You don't have any. Oh my gosh, you went there.
I went down the maker route.
Funny. Oh, great. So thanks for watching. Please, like and subscribe, hit the little bell button, to receive notifications of our stuff. This week, For your listening and viewing pleasure, we are reviewing The Fly and Wonder Woman 1984 or Wonder Woman 84, and so please stay tuned this weekend for our high energy podcasting joy. And
Oh yeah.
thank you for watching. And thanks, Lee. Thanks for putting up with me while I argue with you incessantly about everything.
You know, people who argue are always wrong. Aren't you, Susan?
Oh, Jesus. Uh, not sure. That's right.
Well,
I'm not going to argue with it because for crying out loud, that's the bait and hook, isn't it? Isn't it? Isn't it?
go on, go on.
Have a great one, everybody. Bye bye.